on straightaway, big time trouble. Is Rick Mast on his roof?
Upside down, Rick Mast skating into the infield.
Right across by the start-finish line, directly in front of us, Rick Mast. Getting in the wall, the tri-oval area. He has slid about 1,000 feet. And the car coming to rest directly below us.
And fortunately, Ken, that car didn't keep running. I mean, didn't keep tumbling up in the air. We hope and pray that Rick is okay, but I would venture to say that the chances are better because it didn't start flipping.
Rick Mast had been in 11th position when this incident took place.
Okay, there's Buddy Baker down on the inside of him, and Buddy touches him. Buddy Baker does indeed touch Rick Mast, gets him sideways. There's Mark Martin right behind him. And you see when he comes down off of that banking, the air gets under it. That left a big space there that the air could get under it, flip him up on the roof. There's Joe Ruttman coming up on him. He slides up to the high side of the racetrack on his roof, touches the outside wall, slams into there, and Rick, he said, where am I? He's got to wonder where in the world he is. And then he just slides all the way down the track for several hundred yards. And the safety crew is there with him now as we see his car continue to slide down off of the racetrack. Fortunately, everybody else got by, did not hit him.
This incident taking place at lap 165, with 23 laps to go. Rick Mast, a contender to win it all, comes up in a serious incident as he and Buddy Baker tangled on the 18-degree tri-oval here at Talladega, Alabama, and he's coming out of the car.
He's coming out of the car. There he is. All right, boy, that is always good news. He waves to the crowd. I'll tell you, that had to be a scary ride.
Look again.
They're heading through the tri-oval. And Buddy Baker, the red car, tries to move by on the inside, and he touches Rick just enough to get him sideways. And then when the front wheels got down on the flat part, the rear wheels were up on the banking. That's 18 degrees of banking through there. That opened up a lot of air under that car, and it just picked it up, sent it on its roof. And he slides for a long way down the racetrack. He has to wonder, when in the world is this thing going to stop, and is anything going to hit me? A little bit woozy. Car still on its roof. The safety workers there, they were there immediately as soon as the car stopped sliding on the roof, and here he comes. Rick's a pretty good sized fella, doesn't have a lot of room to crawl out from under there, but I'll tell you, a great sight to see him crawling out from under there.
He's climbed out from beneath a lot of them on a lot of tracks, but never, I believe, at that speed.
No, no sir. I'll tell you, that's had to be some kind of a sensation.
You've been there.
Well, fortunately, I never got a Winston Cup car on his roof while I was driving. I was very fortunate in that respect. A lot of sportsman-type cars, yes.
Chris?
Well, you know, this has got to be a big disappointment of the NASCAR officials. They've done a lot of work aerodynamically on these cars. They extended the roof rail over the rear glass, and they put side spoilers on the trunk, and on the left side of the car, they put the panel that's now on the lower right, feeling that this would keep the car on the ground in that kind of a situation, to try and keep the air out from under the car. And it obviously did. You could see the car was playing airplane there as it got upside down. Now, what NASCAR will do now with its aerodynamic changes, who knows?
Chris, I don't think you could have done much. I mean, part of the car was on the apron, part was on the 18-degree bank. There's no way.
Yeah, let's watch it again. You're right. This is a particular set of circumstances here. We see them coming out through the tri-oval here, and then Buddy Baker runs up there and taps Rick Mast right there, gets him sideways, and then we're going to see when he gets down and his front wheels get down on the flat part of the track, there's like a foot of air space there. Right in that area there. See, the spoiler, the front spoiler is down on the racetrack. That would have a lifting effect itself. And then all of that airspace under there, just let it pick it up. And really, they have done a great job of the rules and trying to keep them on the ground. But you get in a particular situation of this sort.
That's 3,500 pounds going up there.
Yeah, I just don't know how you could guard against something like that.
Well, it's a problem that has to be solved.
You know, the remarkable thing, the blessing here is that it didn't start to tumble. And sometimes you don't mind seeing them tumble rather than a direct head-on stop.
Absolutely.
But in this case, I think it bent those front roll bars down enough. You can see how that windshield got thrust back. And that's what created this long slide. Remember, they had one of these in an IROC race at Daytona, and it slid forever. Driver came out unscathed. Here's Mike.
Ken, watching that one from pit road, and as scary as it looked, I think that the rules and the aerodynamic enhancements really did their job. The car did not get up on its nose and fly as Bobby, or tumble or twirl as Bobby Allison's did here a few years ago. Once it got up and over and pancaked on its roof, it stayed there and didn't come back up and over. So I think all the work they've done in the wind tunnel has really come to some good use. You couldn't keep the car from going, but it certainly settled soon and didn't go for a long, wild tumble.
Very good